a highly toxic corrosive chemical could land on Earth in March when parts of an out-of-control Chinese space station crash into our planet. The chemical, called hydrazine, is used in rocket fuel, and long-term exposure is believed to cause cancer in humans. It is being carried aboard the Tiangong-1 space station, which is hurtling towards Earth and due to hit in March. While most of it will burn up during reentry, around 10 to 40% of the satellite is expected to survive as debris, and some parts may contain hydrazine. Hydrazine is a colourless, oily liquid or sometimes white crystalline compound with a very highly reactive base. It has a number of industrial, agricultural and military uses, including in rocket fuel. Symptoms of short-term exposure to high levels of hydrazine include irritation of the eyes, nose, and throat, dizziness, headache, nausea, pulmonary edema, seizures, and coma, according to the United States Environmental Protection Agency, EPA. Long-term exposure can also damage the liver, kidneys, and central nervous system in humans. The liquid is corrosive and may produce dermatitis from skin contact in humans and animals. Increased incidences of lung, nasal cavity, and liver tumors have been observed in rodents exposed to hydrazine. The EPA has classified hydrazine as a Group B2, a probable human carcinogen.The warning over exposure to the chemical comes from Aerospace Corporation, a non-profit corporation based in El Segundo, California, which provides technical guidance and advice on all aspects of space missions. In a written statement, a Corp spokesman said, potentially, there may be a highly toxic and corrosive substance called hydrazine on board the spacecraft that could survive re-entry. For your safety, do not touch any debris you may find on the ground, nor inhale vapors it may emit. Hydrazine is a colourless, oily liquid or sometimes white crystalline compound with a very highly reactive base. It has a number of industrial, agricultural and military uses, including in rocket fuel. Symptoms of short-term exposure to high levels of hydrazine include irritation of the eyes, nose, and throat, dizziness, headache, nausea, pulmonary edema, seizures, and coma, according to the United States Environmental Protection Agency, EPA. Long-term exposure can also damage the liver, kidneys, and central nervous system in humans. On September 14, 2016, China made an official statement predicting Tiangong-1 would re-enter the atmosphere in the latter half of 2017. Experts from Aerospace Center for Orbital and Re-entry Debris Studies, CORDS, have been studying the space station and in November updated their predictions for its uncontrolled re-entry. It believes this will now take place sometime in March 2018. While a precise landing location remains unclear, ESA recently provided the latitudes between which Tiangong-1 is likely to land, and countries at risk include Spain, Italy, Turkey, India and parts of the US. While most of the space station will break up, parts of flaming debris could land on Earth, experts claim. ESA has announced that it is hosting an international campaign to monitor the re-entry of Tiangong-1 early this year. The Tiangong-1 spacecraft launched in 2011, with the aim of using the craft to set up a larger space station. The craft is now at about 300 kilometers (186 miles) altitude in an orbit that is expected to decay sometime between January and March 2018, when it will make an uncontrolled re-entry. Holger Craig, head of ESA's Space Debris Office, said, "Owing to the geometry of the station's orbit, we can already exclude the possibility that any fragments will fall over any spot further north than 43 degrees N, or further south than 43 degrees S." This means that re-entry may take place over any spot on Earth between these latitudes, which include several European countries, for example. The date, time and geographic footprint of the re-entry can only be predicted with large uncertainties. Even shortly before re-entry, only a very large time and geographical window can be estimated. Much of the spacecraft is expected to burn up in the atmosphere upon re-entry. But owing to the station's massing construction materials, there is a possibility that some portions of it will survive and reach the surface. In the history of spaceflight, no casualties due to falling space debris have ever been confirmed. ESA plans to conduct an international expert workshop on 28 February to focus on re-entry predictions, in the hopes of anticipating Tiangong's return to Earth.